Hi, everyone. It's Karissa from Sun Control. I am here with Shining Light on Minnesota, Season 3, Episode 2, and I have some outstanding guests here today with me, Naomi and Jake. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, excited to be here.
We're so excited to have you, and we want to share with everybody a little bit about where you guys have come from and where you plan on going. Jake, why don't you start?
Great. Thank you. Thanks again for having us in.
You bet.
I'm Jake Helgeson. I'm with Davis Mechanical Systems and a couple other little companies now. You know, like any good entrepreneur, you start one, it's like a tattoo. You got to get another.
And then it's addicting.
Yeah. But I'm originally from the small town of Morristown.
Nice.
I went to college in Mankato, got into IT sales, and decided to go on the entrepreneurial journey in 2018 and haven't looked back. So
Perfect. What about you, Naomi?
Perfect. So I started my journey in 2013 with my own personal business for a little over 8 years. Single mom and just needed the flexibility to be able to put my family first. Started my business. It didn't go as planned through COVID, and as the years went on, I met Jake recently and joined the Davis Mechanical team.
Why don't you tell people a little bit about Davis's history, where it's going, and how
Sure.
that got started?
Yeah, absolutely. So Davis has been around since 1995. It was formerly Wayland Davis, full service mechanical contractor in the commercial and industrial space. And Paul Davis took over the business completely when Mike Whalen retired after the 2008 crash.
Nice.
He was done and wanted to hang her up. So,
Yep.
so Paul ran the business as a large refrigeration air conditioning contractor working for large mechanical contractors as a specialty sub. And as getting into 2018, he was looking to retire and wanted to have a plan in place. And long story short, my brother-in-law was a general foreman for a contractor out of Rochester. I was in software sales and really looking to make a change and wanted to get out. And the timing was right, where we ended up acquiring Davis Mechanical, keeping Paul on board for a few years, helping with the transition, and really growing from there. So my brother-in-law, Phil, is the master plumber and license holder. I run the business operations side of the house. And we've brought in a number of folks that we're close with, family, friends, built it that way. So,
What area does Davis cover?
so we're in the state of Minnesota, historically, and now Western Wisconsin, Iowa, South Dakota, and North Dakota.
Nice.
We got projects all over the place. We typically look at mechanical scope for construction around $1 million to $2 million. So large scale, sink your teeth in type projects, long term. And we've really focused the last year on building out our design, build, and service programs.
Perfect.
So we can get into smaller projects. We can handle that sub, even $10,000 scope where we're coming in and we're fixing equipment and that sort of thing. So the business has definitely evolved. We were traditionally construction, commercial, and industrial. Now it's really broad and we've grown the team. So there's not much that we can't handle in the state of Minnesota. We do a lot of public schools, police departments, maintenance facilities, a ton of money going into water treatment plants, that sort of thing. But we don't shy away from restaurants, grocery. The service department does a lot of those kind of things. So
Tell us a little bit about the service plan and the service that you guys offer on the side and what people are looking more to do.
Yeah. When you look at a mechanical scope in a building, it's water heaters, chillers, boilers, all of the stuff, water side, we call it. It's all the stuff that keeps things cold and things hot that need to be. And then on the air side, it's ventilation, right? It's air conditioning, it's furnaces, it's kind of the historical, what you'd know. All those pieces of equipment costs tens of thousands of dollars, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in initial acquisition cost. And so where we looked at that is you're also going to spend 2 to 3 times the initial acquisition amount in lifetime maintenance, right? These are 20-year
For sure.
type devices. So if you want to get, 10 years out of something, don't treat it well. Don't take care of it. You want to get 20, do the preventative maintenance, right? Do the upkeep. And so that's where we focus. We help building owners understand what does it take to keep this equipment around for a little bit longer and get those valued years out of the rest of it to lower their total cost of ownership. And
Perfect.
so our team comes in quarterly, annually, biannually, depending on what piece of equipment it is. We clean coils, we change filters, we change belts, we grease things, kind of all of it, right?
Yeah.
Based on the manufacturer specifications. And then we also give you root cause analysis. If something fails,
Yep.
we'll replace it, fix it, and give you some heads up on what is it that, made the issue and how can we remedy that kind of stuff going forward. Anything proactively to look at, kind of all of it. So you can set your maintenance costs for years so your life cycle is more predictable.
For sure. So Naomi, tell me, I know on your side you do a lot of the business development. You get out there and like to reach those businesses. Why don't you tell everybody listening what your role is and what you do?
Yeah, so Jake, he brought me onto the team. We were introduced to each other and it kind of created this position for me, business development manager with Davis Mechanical Systems. Just a big networking and relationship partnership role. Just out here trying to meet, anything from residential home builders to building owners. And then just my women in construction group, they've been phenomenal. I've just learned over the time that I've been here that it's just who you are and what you have to offer and your sincerity in that.
Yep.
Just building relationships, building partnerships.
Perfect.
Yep.
Yeah, I can add a little bit to that. So it was an interesting story. Naomi interviewed originally for accounts payable position, which she would have been so bored with.
I would have been so bored, yes.
Yes.
But it was interesting in the interview. We were taken aback. Like, she's dynamic and personable and, courageous for the stuff she's done in the past. And that's not things that we can teach.
No.
And so I hung up the call after the interview and was like, wow, what do we do now?
Right. I need this position somehow.
So I just reached out to her and said, I don't know what we can do together, but let's just nurture this a little bit to figure out what we can do. Because, like I said, you can teach things. Obviously, we can teach somebody how to input, accounts payable invoices and pay bills, but you can't teach them to be dynamic. You can't teach them to have a spine and be, goal-oriented, entrepreneurial, all that stuff. And I love to see somebody who's had success, had failures, still has ambition and still wants success, right? Yeah. Because I've had that same thing in the past. So
tell me a little bit about your why, Jake, why you do what you do.
That's a good question. So I don't really look at the mechanical contracting space like I necessarily wanted to be an owner of a contractor.
Yeah.
But I look back and my years of experience have been in market development, bringing new products, pricing, strategy, recruitment. I've loved to recruit top talent and try to figure out. So the organizations I worked with, I was a independent contributing sales rep.
Nice.
But I always had all these other ambitions. And so one of my previous sales managers gave me a very eye-opening speech, and he said, your job is to sell. Mm-hmm. And I said, I do that, but I want to do all this other stuff. He said, that's not what we pay you for.
Right.
So that gave me the idea of like, okay, why am I here? What is my why? What am I doing here?
Yep.
So really, I think if I was to kind of encapsulate what my motivations are, is I want everybody to be successful. Mm-hmm. Whatever that ambition is, however we can do it, pushing people to think they can do more than they can, and then seeing them do it.
Right.
Right. Whether that's with us, outside of us, it's just in life. Like, I hope people look to me as like, I want to get positive feedback, real feedback, and also motivation that I would be the person they talk to try to get that.
Outstanding.
And I'm going to speak on that because he's a great person for that. He's a great leader. I'm very thankful for where I'm at in the space with Davis because Jake does put family first, and that is my number one priority. As a mom, is I will not miss a game. And he understood that from the forefront and just pushing, like he said, us to be the best us that we can possibly be. My eyes are getting watery, but no, I am really thankful for it because I have other things that I want to accomplish outside of Davis, alongside Davis and within Davis. And Jake's always been there to support and push and ideas if I need to bounce ideas off of him or whatever it may be. He's been a great leader for myself and other people along on the team as well. So it's been a blessing.
I think what people don't understand is when you are a single mom.
Yeah.
Your drive, your motivation, your resiliency. I see a lot of that in you, and you just keep going. It's not always what can I do within the hours? It's how can I create more time in the hours I have and keep going and be there for your kids, cook those meals, clean, but always show up no matter what it is.
Yep.
Be in the forefront, be honest, but you're always there. And that drives everybody that's listening, everybody that knows you. It's an inspiring story as well.
I appreciate that. Yeah. Cause it's tough. We were just talking about, today was a ride. Just finished right before I walked into the store. But I mean, it's for the kids, right? It's our future, and whatever I can show them, and you got to show in the forefront, lead them, and they're our future. Show them how to do it.
And on the other side, who knows if what we're doing is the right way, but you always kind of throw that out there and just you keep going. You hustle the grind.
Yeah, and I think, like I had mentioned to you before, Jake and I come from single parent homes, and I think that's a lot of what's gotten us to be where we're at. I mean, learning that resiliency, like you said, and just pushing through. I mean, there's hard times. We might not have realized it in the time growing up, right? Me and my mom go back and forth every once in a while. And, well, you did the same thing. Yeah, okay, well, that's the past. But I learned from it. And that's why I'm having these conversations now with my children, is because as I've grown, I've learned, and I am who I am because of what she put herself through and how she pushed through.
Right.
So, and I mean, they're not going to realize that right now, but I know my kids will know as they grow. Yeah.
And they look up to that too. I mean, I know you touched on, Jake, your mom was a single mom as well. How has that grown or molded you into who you are?
Yeah, she's been fantastic. So my mom, my parents got divorced when I was 1. My older brother and I were living with my mom, and she had 3 jobs. Yep. So she worked at the state of Minnesota in a group home during the day, and then she worked at group homes at night, and then she also bartended on the weekends. So it was always something. But I never knew what I didn't have, because I always had enough.
Right.
And she had 6 sisters. My grandpa was really involved in our lives and our childhood. So it was a lot. I felt really like loved and welcomed, and I had plenty.
Yep.
Now the joke in our family is, we didn't know what hamburger helper was, because we always said hamburger partner. I don't know where this, rich kids had this fancy name brand stuff.
Yep.
Mountain Lightning, not Mountain Dew.
Right. Yeah.
But in the end, that is really what drove us to, we didn't really care. We always had plenty. We had a good group of cousins that were close to us. We had a big family. Both of my grandparents on both sides were very strong. My dad was in the picture. He was just an alcoholic and was living in Faribault, so a town 15 minutes away.
Yep.
But later in his life, which he only lived to 42, he died when I was a senior in high school, which is weird because I'm that exact same age. I'm 42 now.
Ugh.
So my grandparents were very involved. My aunts and uncles were very involved. Like, it was a very good, community. So again, I never felt like I didn't have anything. And I learned a lot watching the way my mom sacrificed. And I still remember, Christmas was never enough, the tears shed because my cousins got things that we couldn't get, starter jackets, all the stuff. It was all hand-me-down stuff anyway we got.
Yep.
And we were super happy about it.
Absolutely.
Right.
So I look at it now, I don't want my kids to feel like they've got an immense amount. They do live a different life than I did growing up, but they're still humble, and they need to have a sense of scarcity, and they need to work, and they just need to be good people. That's the biggest thing that I focus on for my kids, is like, be better than I was, and let's continue to get better together. So
well, in today's day and age too, I think being present with our children, there's so many outside influences that, especially with the internet, right? So just being present. I know that was a tough thing for my mom. She wasn't able to make the games because she worked at 3 jobs, and I was the athlete in the family, and I'll be danged if, my son's I know I'm the first person he looks for at that game.
Absolutely.
And
whether you know it or not, they're looking out in the crowd and just kind of make that quick eye contact, like, okay, I'm good. She's here.
Yep. So
I never had that either. Yeah. So my parents could never come to the games, but I remember people, like a good friend of mine growing up, his uncle went to every single game. He was very supportive of us. So it was like, you seek those people out. And I didn't hold it against my parents because they obviously had stuff going on.
Well, it's all I knew.
Yeah, that's what you know.
That's all I knew. Yeah. My best friend's dad, he was 65, or like mid 60s, and retired. So he was able to bring us to everything. So I had him. So
you have a village. It takes a village to raise a child. Everybody always says that. And knowing the right people and who you can count on when you are single or when you're not. just to make sure that
Yeah.
everything flows, whether it's a Google Calendar or whatever it takes.
Yeah. One thing I want to say too about just where we've gone with our entrepreneurial life,
Yes.
it's given us the opportunity to do things to give back to our family. So
Perfect.
my sister Amy she owns a fashion boutique, a LuLaRoe distributor, as well as it's got a retail. She's extremely hardworking. She has my mom working with her. And at Davis Mechanical, my mom has come in the shop and worked, and it's allowed us to help her retire early. Gave us the means to buy her house between the three of us kids.
Perfect.
And to really allow her to have freedom and flexibility that she says she never would have been able to have. And to be honest, we wouldn't have been able to afford had we not been successful in our endeavors and had cash flow to do so.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's a big thing for us is to really give back.
What other sectors or what other entrepreneurial things have you both done or are you doing right now?
Yeah, so like I said, I had my own business for a little over 8 years. It's a cleaning company. Nesting Neatly. We started in the northwest suburbs. We were really successful, and then COVID came, and I just, as a single mom, I needed to get back to having a job and bringing regular income in. So that's when I had gotten into the construction industry, cell tower construction, and then over at Davis now. But I have a lot of events over in Plymouth, and every time I'd come back to the office, I'm like, I just miss it, Jake. So he gave me the go-ahead to go ahead and relaunch. So I've relaunched my cleaning business. It's cleaning, organizing, and laundry. I'm down in the Faribault areas where I live now, so I'm down there, and then I'm also in the northwest suburbs. That's going really well, and then I'm making the transition into post-construction cleaning, and hopefully in the next couple of months I'll be able to launch that fully, and since I'm in the construction space all the time. So
nice. You're really lucky to be with a company that allows you to do that. But what people don't understand is sometimes those side gigs and side hustles actually grow Davis
together.
Mechanical, and they grow all as one too. Because if you're doing post-construction, hey, they don't know about Davis Mechanical. It's all thinking outside the box.
Yeah, definitely.
100% agree.
And I'm so thankful because I'd come back and I didn't expect it. He was like, then do it. Like, but I work for you. He's like, well, do it while you work for me.
Nice.
So,
I told Naomi from the start, like, I want you to quit on me someday because you're wildly successful and you can't do this anymore. That would be fantastic. You know, because that means we succeeded in this too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So, and I do believe 100% like what you just said is her network is our network. If Naomi has a good experience here, she will always refer business to us, whether it's Davis or whatever other cookie jars we have our hands in.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
If we educate her wherever she may be down the line, that's a win for all of us.
Perfect.
Davis will be home.
Yep.
Right. I want you to always remember, like, that helped me get to where I am positively.
Yeah,
right.
And that's a good thing. I think everybody should have something that they're trying to do, whether it's just betterment in general, if it's business, whatever, have some goals, have some opportunities, push yourself, strive. And I hope our culture or it shows that we're open to that. We're open to helping people grow. So
For sure.
What new things has Davis been up to lately?
Yeah, we got a lot of good things going on. I mean, in the end, our business has grown immensely since 2018. So we had 5 employees and we have 85 now.
Wow.
Which has been awesome. We had 125 is going to be the summer goal this summer. So it's been an immense amount of steering the ship. Obviously, global pandemic, economic crisis killed our business in 2020, 21. It was a really rough time to be anywhere. But I say, like, I hated working here, and I'm sure everybody else did. But when I talked to people in the market, they all hated where they worked, and they came out of it, you know. So our focus and refinement on our current business is to build out service department and to build out the design build capabilities so we can compete more directly with large contractors. Really outside of that, so I have stepped back in pretty much most all realms of Davis Mechanical other than cash flow planning and really CFO, right? Just making sure that we're in a good spot, we're making the right investments, that sort of thing. Outside of that, last year in March, myself and 2 of my neighbors and my brother bought a duct and dryer vent cleaning business in St. Paul.
Nice.
Called Home Place Duct and Dryer Vent. And that has been a fantastic addition. My neighbor was a mortgage underwriting manager, D.R. Horton Homes. They were going through big layoffs, and he said, I want out before the axe gets me. So long story short, he's a meticulous type A individual. Put him in anything that has to do with cleaning or operations or manufacturing or whatever. You know it's going to be a good quality product. So
For sure.
We moved that direction. We've had a business plan for residential HVAC and plumbing since 2018.
Yep.
After we bought Davis, we wanted to grow residential to get it more diverse. We finally launched that April of this year.
Exciting.
So like good things that take time. So next gen heating and air will be the residential HVAC model, and then hot water Minnesota will be the residential furnace water heater change outs, remodels, business. And then we've invested in a mechanical insulation company that my sister owns, and we ended up selling off our shares, Preferred Mechanical Insulation. Really just kind of helping people spin up businesses.
Yep.
The model I think that I've seen that's been really predictable and acceptable is find the right person, wrap them around some good infrastructure and support.
Yep.
Prop them up, especially if they're the master of their craft, whether it's an estimator in insulation or concrete or whatever it is. If they have business acumen and they have likability and they've got, they're the one you want in front of the customers,
Yes.
we can fill everything else in.
Absolutely.
So that's really been the model is, the union labor across all of the different models that we do has been easy to ramp up.
Nice.
And then I think we got a pretty good solution for payroll, HR, finance, kind of the supporting infrastructure. So all that being said, like I look at this as like we are private equity for our own stuff.
Yep.
And so someday when we actually have money, we'll be a larger private equity.
Sooner than later, knock on wood.
Yeah. I look at like the True North Equity Partners, Northwest Equity. I mean, all of these companies they buy stake and then they start to help other companies get bigger and better. That's where I want to be in 10 years. But I have debt cycles I got to work through and,
and get the processes down a little bit.
Yeah. So on that note, I have tried to document everything. I mean, if you wanted to buy a business right now,
yes,
I could really honestly darn near write the book for how we can do it.
Perfect.
But each one's different, but at least things to look for. We've done it like 4 or 5 times now, either spin up or acquire. So, someday I'll be able to say that I'm really good at this. Right now, I just really enjoy it.
It helps go hand in hand when you enjoy something so much. So acquisition side of things, do you guys have a goal for how many acquisitions and different things that you want to do every year? Or is it just kind of whatever gets brought to your plate? It
has been every year. So we were focused on one a year. And it was strategic, either a new market or a new service line, whatever happened. So when we started Davis in 2018, we found McCarthy Plumbing and Heating in Owatonna that was very much in the industrial and commercial space. COVID hit them hard. So they became kind of a distressed asset that we ended up acquiring McCarthy. And helping Amy with PMI all took place. She started in June of 2020. So we really got going with that acquisition or spin up mentality, entrepreneurial early on. And then after that, it was, we went after some buildings in Owatonna as part of the McCarthy acquisition, sold those, got into some other commercial real estate. So it hasn't necessarily just been businesses, but it's been assets.
Absolutely.
Like obviously we look at what can we do with the cash flow that we generate.
Yep.
And obviously, 2021 took all of our cash flow and all of our profits away. But as we come back, we've gotten better, smarter. And I understand how to look at things differently. On the merger side, I sign NDAs and look at financials all the time.
Yep.
Probably once a month just to see what's out there for anything from automotive repair, cleaning, residential HVAC, commercial HVAC, whatever's for sale. I just want to look. I want to understand it. I want to get better at it. I want to see the market. So.
And you have to see the ebbs and flows too. Like if my business does, again, what it did through COVID or whatever else it may be, what can I have on the back end that's going to keep that income coming in, keep it flowing throughout.
Right.
Yeah. Yes. So don't end up like me.
But we learn to adapt, and that's what makes us who we are. I mean, being out there at all the different events and just being seen, being heard. But I think as a person in general, being able to adapt.
Yeah.
Because if you're not able to adapt and grow or look outside the big picture and see what all is out there, then it really kind of helps tie things in.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and I think also probably my parenting experience probably brought me here, but just looking at it, it was sad when I had to shut down Nesting Neatly.
Yeah.
In the hindsight, it was sad in the moment, but I mean, when I reflect back on that, it was just another learning experience that opened many more doors for me. I mean, a good door closed, but it didn't close permanently.
Right.
And I learned so much. And I mean, I wouldn't be here meeting the people I am and doing the things that I'm doing and enjoying life right now in the moment without that,
Yep.
Just everything's a lesson learned.
Right.
Take it with a grain of salt, right?
You got to bounce back up after those failures
Got to.
faster
Yeah.
than you do.
Got to.
I think a lot of people don't understand too about the COVID issues. Like for us as a contractor, it wasn't about finding people, it wasn't about jobs staying open. It was about material costs.
Yep.
When they went up 40%, and we had compounding 8% increases every month.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so when we were looking at every contract that came in that was hard bid was how much are we going to lose?
Yep.
And when is enough? And I can say, thankfully, we didn't exit any contracts.
Nice.
We had no bond pulls. We had nothing, no jobs that weren't completed.
Right.
We took it on the chin like everybody else. I think that, and we grew through COVID by 2x. So we went, almost we went from 12 million to 20 million. And that was tough.
Yeah, I bet.
And trying to probably navigate through that jump now too makes it tough. It's like, okay, how can we manpower wise make all this work and keep growing? Things like that. How was supply and demand for you like everybody else through all that?
Yeah, it was really tough. There was things like the commodities that we buy, PVC, copper,
Yep.
were hard to get. And we were threatened that we couldn't get things that we should. So we had to bring it in, whether that was real or not.
Yep.
The distributors had us over a barrel. We had no way to really fight that back. I mean,
Right.
we had one call. I can specifically tell you, we had a job that we had a $200,000 steel budget for, and we went to make the buy, and they said it's $240 today. And so it went up 20% since they quoted us the buy price.
Yep.
And in the end, we couldn't do it because we didn't have cash flow.
Right.
So we had to buy it in increments, and I think we paid, $260, $270. So in the end, you can't make that up. There's not enough labor hours on a job to make up a 20, 25%, material cost swing. So in the end, we got better about being purchasers. We have now a purchasing manager, Jamie, who watches commodity pricing. We do bulk buys. We look at out past the end of our nose on what can we see, what can we bundle. But in the end, the other things that helped were HVAC systems got such a long lead time that the architects and engineers and contractors would have to tell us their projects that far in advance.
Yep.
Because you want to buy a Liebert unit for a data center, it was 52 weeks. So I got a 52-week notice
Nice.
of an opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And so we would get to bid on these opportunities. So we work with some large carriers in the data center world
Right.
that we started being able to forecast and plan. And we'd know, okay, we got 5, computer room air conditioner unit project coming up.
Right.
So it started to give us more visibility.
Yep.
They had to start working with us more, obviously, like long lead time
Yep.
pieces of equipment, Whirlpool tubs, specialties, things like that. Really, the engineers and the contractors had to lean a little bit more on the mechanicals to be able to give them insight to those
Absolutely.
things.
Yep.
So
Right.
hopefully we got a little better relationship out of it and understand our value.
Instead of just hey,
Right. Instead of here's your plan and spec job, go
Yep.
bid it.
go on to the next. Let's
best of
go.
luck. Right. One thing too that I can tell you is that we've seen the market constrict so much with acquisition and honestly, a lot of companies went out of business.
Right.
So when in 2019, I posted a video on LinkedIn of the Andover Public Works bid opening
Yes.
for mechanical contracting scope. There was 11 bids within like 3% of each other. And so, now
Right.
to get 3 to 4 bids, you might have a 10% swing.
Yep.
Because it's just such a different dynamic. So there's been a number of contractors that have gone out of business. Many of them have been sold. Don't think a business owner in their 60s would want to go through a COVID
No.
time again. And so that
Right.
prompted a lot of sales.
Right.
So we see the market as a little less competitive. Not that it's going to stay that way,
Mm-hmm.
but for sure right now it's definitely weeded out some of the competitors that didn't have the staying power.
How do you guys as a company try to reach the bigger companies that are out there, the bigger contractors, to let them know everything that you offer? What are some of the ways or realms that you get in there?
Well, just my networking, right? So, just trying to get my foot in as many doors as I can. And then, I mean, sitting down with my business development people like yourself has been quite a blessing. As I'm trying to navigate this position,
Yeah.
it's new to myself and new to Davis. So, but getting out and networking, getting to know people, just having organic conversations with people so they know who I am as a person
Yep.
as I'm out representing Davis, I think is really important. And then proceeding with, in hopes to get like a meet and greet or a lunch and learn so I can go on site and just present to them what we have to offer them. Each mechanical company has a different scope and array of services that they have to offer each general contractor, each project. And I think we have quite the array of opportunities out there that we offer, services that we offer. So just getting out there and letting them know everything that we have to give them and, let them know about our team behind it. And then from there, just showing appreciation going forward and massaging those relationships and keeping them fresh and friendly, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. As far as the residential side goes, how do you think you'll attack those?
Residential is a different animal.
Yep.
But I'm here for it. I come from that scope with what I had going on prior and just recently relaunched. Social media is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Connecting as we're coming through and you're giving the tour. I mean, I think we're going to have to connect with Sun Control and get some good branding going on the vehicles and stuff. Word of mouth, again, being present and letting people know. Social media is huge.
Yep.
I mean, social media is such a big driver in getting into those residential homes.
Yeah, I can say the same thing. I mean, in a commercial space, what we've been doing is really multifaceted. So
Yes.
our project managers have their own contacts, their own relationships. So they've been working with contractors. The Minneapolis Builders Exchange is fantastic for public bid. So you have to, in my mind, have many different arrows going at one time.
Sure
right?
do.
But the direct to owner work, you'll never really get if you're just working for a contractor because you're subcontractor number 40. You know? So when we talk about what our goal was in bringing Naomi on was to start to build relationships with direct to owner, with networking events and relevance, because Davis was always the best kept secret of a sub of a sub of a sub who did a great job and never got a call back because we do good work.
Yep.
Well, that doesn't get you in front of anybody other than who you're with, right? So I say the market was driving our demand and we need to be driving our demand and we need to be controlling our own destiny. So in that sense, focusing Naomi on getting us in front of a new set of contractors, direct to owner work, just there's no bad meeting. Go meet everybody. Right. Tell the story, cheerlead.
Yep.
Because in the end, that's what we're here for, right? Is to just get more
be
involved.
Omnipresent too. Yeah.
And I think if we could have 5 of us, you would do really well. I love it too. Yeah, I want to be out there. Like, it's the funnest thing to talk about is why are you successful and what are you going to do to help somebody? Right. Building the relationships. It's enjoying. That's the fun part of it.
Yep.
Yeah. My good old caretaker mentality.
Yeah.
Right.
How can I help you?
Yeah. That's what I think of as the servant, right? If you really truly breathe, like you are a helper of people, you're a servant to, that's the right mentality. That's the right approach. That'll get you the long run.
And I think something that we've learned along the way, or I know I have as this is new to me, but you say you have a relationship with a contractor, but how good is that relationship, right? So you might work with a PM or 2 or know an estimator or 2, but how well do you know them and then the rest of their team? I mean, there's so many other people out there.
How many new people estimators come in and you don't know them, or you might know someone about their kids and their life and everything like that, but 6 new people are coming in the door fresh out of school or fresh in the trades, whatever they may be. Like, do they know everything that you offer?
Right.
Yeah, if you look at the total adjustable market and I'm making up the numbers, but I always try to tell our guys this so that the preamp so they understand it. If we see 10% of the market, I would be surprised.
Right.
If we bid, 10% of that, I would be surprised.
Yep.
And if we won 10% of that, I'd be surprised. So, I mean, we're sub 1%.
Yep.
So if you want to grow 2x, 3x, you've got to get out in front of more people. It's just math. It's not, there's no science to it. There's no art to it. And it's just get out there and see more people.
The relationship gets you there, and then the numbers are what count in the end, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's blocking and tackling. It's like anything you want to do.
Yep.
Repetition, right? It's like your golf story.
Yep.
You want to get better at golf? You better go play.
Yeah, you have to.
But you also better put in the time on the,
And people don't see that. I mean, work is the biggest aspect of everything. Like golf is great, yes, but that's also a side of it that's bringing in customers. Like work is done out there, but just like baseball, just like anything, you have to put in the hours, you have to put in the time, but you also have to love what you do and be able to think outside the box. You never know who you're going to come across. Could be a really large commercial lead, but they're also residential because they own a house or they know somebody that owns a house and needs something. So the more people see Davis Mechanical, the more they're going to say, hey, it's going to be on top of mind when they need it or somebody else does, whether it's now or planting the seeds for later.
Right.
Absolutely.
Which also, some people don't in the business development world, right? Like we're not in the office.
Nope. What's an office, right?
I know, right? Just a place to set our paperwork down till the next day, but we're not in the office. So people often question, what we're doing and stuff. And we're working, 25/7.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cause you're out there talking, like you said, golf.
Yep.
And I'm in booster clubs and all of that. And it's always getting resurfaced. It's always coming to.
Or even sitting at the games for your kids. It's like, see your jacket, see your car in the parking lot, see whatever it is. They're like, oh, hey, you're some, yep. Let me tell you about what we do. Whether we're watching baseball, I can cheer on the side, but let's have that conversation.
Yeah. It's all the time. Yeah. All the time.
So how can people get a hold of you? What locations, where all are your main branch locations at?
Yeah. Headquarters is in Lakeville. So we're just west of Belzers off of 70th Street. So people always know, there's like Treehouse Foods. There's some pretty big manufacturing, which is a great facility for us. We have a lot of folks that are south, and our teams don't necessarily come back to the shop.
Right.
We typically distribute to them at the job site.
Nice.
So it's been good for us. And then we have another satellite office in Owatonna from the McCarthy Plumbing and Heating acquisition. We're looking at geographic expansion. We've talked to Mankato, like the facilities there, Rochester, Sioux Falls.
Yep.
We're starting to do quite a bit of work out there. So I look at it as, where we are today, we're going to be a lot different in a few years because to be relevant in these markets, you need to have not just a, P.O. box, but a relevant footprint. So that's, the really focus is to build out our Lakeville office. We added 7 more offices and we're out of space again. So
they're not even built yet.
They're not even done.
They're just already called for and the stuff's already there. And
exactly.
They just keep going. Yep.
We're starting to put 2 people in offices.
Right.
We're getting back to that. But it's a far cry from where we started. We were in Bloomington right by the Mall of America.
Yep.
In a 1,500 square foot facility that we all wrapped around the bathroom. So we got to know each other real well.
Oh, yeah.
And we actually had a printing supply closet.
Nice.
That I worked out of for almost a year because there's no room. Right. And, now I look at that and I'm like, we're in 13,000 square feet. Yep. In Lakeville. And it's just not enough.
No.
I'm excited to host some networking events.
Yeah, it's going to be really nice. Yeah. The facilities, they're doing a good job. The building is owned by Guido Gliori, who was the owner of Grazzini, one of the... Yeah. Yep. So it's his facility. TMI Coatings is his wife's company. So, perfect. Yeah, they've been fantastic. Actually, Guido's been really good about introducing us to his network. And
nice. That helps.
Helping spread the word, too. Yeah. So that's been good. But at some point, we'll want to own a building and just start building out a footprint because I said if we continue to grow manufacturing, we don't do in-house right now. Right. We have a very small prefab area. There's a lot of things that we're going to need to do going forward that's going to require more space. Right. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of it.
No, there's not. And finding that space in the area that you want is even more difficult. So yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we're all kind of scattered, but a lot of us are south, but to stay relevant, the metro. So
Yeah, I love the address in Lakeville. I mean, it's a nice location. I live in east of New Prague, so it's an easy drive for me.
Nice.
But yeah, a lot of folks of ours work or live in Egan, Apple Valley, South and Faribault, Medford, so it's easy to get to Lakeville.
Yep. Well, and it helps hit the smaller towns, not just the Twin Cities footprint. You can hit the smaller Owatonna, Faribault, New Prague areas too.
Yeah. A lot of our staff though lives north, so we got Forest Lake, Centerville, Stacy, and
St. Michael.
St. Michael.
Yeah.
And we just tell them, don't come to the office. Don't come to shop. Like, we have a work from home culture. Everybody's laptop based. They all have VPN to get on the network. Everything we can do, we try to do all cloud-based apps.
Nice.
Everything we do needs to be pushed out. And our team is really, that's in the office, is 100% in support of what's going on in the field. So we don't want them to have to come to the office for anything if they don't need to.
Perfect.
Let's push everything out.
How's the adaptability? Let's say Naomi 3 years down the road decides, hey, I want to get into accounting again.
That won't be the case, but that's fine.
We have had several people that have moved around different organizations. I mean, the best thing I think about the culture is when you're promoting yourselves as entrepreneurial, that might be internal as well.
Absolutely.
So, for example, we've got a sales operations manager that wants to be an estimator.
Right.
He thinks he would love the project side and the math and all that. And it's like, put together the plan.
Being a small business, you have the room to change for sure.
Yep, let's go. And every opportunity that people bring to us is an interesting dynamic. I don't know if you met Miranda Pellant. She's our staff accountant.
Yep.
Miranda came to us a couple of years ago as an intern. She was in college. And she just did so well and brought so many good ideas to the table for a very quiet, kind of mellow-mannered person.
Right.
I'm like, she's got a future. We need to figure out how to hold on to her and turn this into something. And now you just fast forward and she's managing people. She's building out things. She's got a ton of ideas. She helps with all the operating companies. She's got just an immense amount of opportunity and internal stuff. So, I mean, I look at Miranda as like, she's my financial partner in the business.
Yep.
As we continue to grow and analyze stuff.
And a lot of people don't see those people.
No.
They know who they see. They know the faces, but they don't know what's all put into it and helps build it and grow it behind the scenes. Yeah,
Miranda's been phenomenal. She's young, but man, she's got a huge future ahead of her and just a team player all the way around. I mean, I've went to her for a few things because I know she's helped like Jake with his acquisitions and all of that and really helps on the financial side with all the different businesses. And she's been open to me just bouncing questions off of her and kind of helping guide me as well with what route I want to take to move along with my business. So, yeah, I mean, just a real key player, Miranda is. I mean, but that's been the nice thing with Davis, too. And we talked about that in one of our initial lunches is, someone might come in and like if I would have gotten the job as the AP and the AP, you kind of find where people excel and what they're better at and what, where their heart is at. And you kind of lead them over to that position. So if I did come in as AP, I probably would have ended up over here eventually. But, there's people that come in on positions and it's just not a good fit and they find out other spots for them. And I mean, we have great teams, a lot of flexibility.
I can talk about that too. Like just as an example, our payroll and HR manager, Sarah, ran a daycare. She was in home daycare for 20 years. She came in and she wanted to get into a office administration role. Now she runs safety, payroll, certified payroll, all the reporting of the benefits. I mean, she's really got her hands on all that. Jamie Tobias, who is our purchasing manager, came from a graphics design at a print shop in Owatonna.
Yep.
So she was looking to get out of the manufacturing field, took some classes in accounting and wanted to go that route. So similarly, she came in as AP coordinator in the office administration role, now as purchasing manager. So I think we've been able to find and hire really good people.
Yep.
And then let them flourish internally and,
that's what I'll keep
figure it
them
out.
too.
Yeah. Just say, what do you want to do here?
Right.
I don't care. You just tell me. If that's not the right role and something else, then let's go that route.
I think people in the construction world don't understand that construction's not just construction with a hammer and a nail. I mean, like I've had this conversation before. There's so many different realms to it. You could be doing the HR. You could be doing the acquisition side. You could be doing the legal side. You could be doing graphic side. There's just so much more to it than just the hammer and nail, what a lot of people think I don't want to grow up and be in the construction world. I don't want to do that, but they don't know the world is yours.
Yeah,
There's
I agree.
so much opportunity in construction, and I didn't know that either.
Right.
Grew up in small town Minnesota. All we had was Bayliner boats, and I knew I didn't want to build those. So, yeah, there's so much opportunity in construction. That's what I'm going through with my kids right now. You know, my daughter is really good in arts, and I'm like, there's a lady that is an architect and wants to sit down with my daughter. She's young, but expose her to it now. I think, you know, anything in arts, it's architecture, blueprints and stuff would be phenomenal.
Graphic design. I mean, there's just so many different realms. And I think for people growing up and people our age, what you do now might not be what you do in the future. There's so much room to grow and change and blow up the world and be known and dominate that you never know what the right fit is going to be for you, and it's fine to change.
Right.
Like back in the day, they used to be set in stone and do the same position for 50, 60, 70 years and never change. And hey, I could be turning 50 in a few years and be like, let's do something else in the sun control world. Let's see where we're going. Let's throw it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. My older brother, Craig, is a good example of that. So when we grew up, obviously single mother household, he just was, you know, hardworking and trying to figure out what he could do to help provide. He went to college for computer science, computer repair, and then decided that that's not the route for him. And so he went and got a job at an HVAC shop because he was pretty technical.
Yeah.
And spent 12 years as an HVAC service tech, and then left that, went and got a law enforcement degree, became a Steele County and Dodge County deputy for many years. And then when we bought Davis Mechanical, he came back into this world and took over working for Paul Davis as he was needed somebody to teach the industry.
For sure.
And Craig had the right background. So he had a diverse background, had immense jobs and immense opportunity. But you find the person who's good, who's, you know, you trust, you believe that they can do it. They can be taught.
Yep.
And in the end, now Craig is going to be the president of the residential brand, and there's nobody else I would rather have run the business, not because he's my brother, but because I know he will do what it takes.
Yep.
And he was just nominated and got the chief of fire department for Medford. And so he's got an immense amount of hats, and it's kind of that civil service. Like, you don't need to be doing this stuff.
No.
Right? We do it because we care and we want to invest.
You want to
and
help
we want
and
to see
give
change. Yeah. So I see the same thing out of him. And so again, you know, we can teach you pretty much anything.
Right.
But I can't teach courage and, you know, ambition and entrepreneurship. And
which is big for the upcoming world. The kids these days, trying to teach them motivation and drive. Yes, the computer world, the social world, the technical world, starting your own business is great, but you also have to be able to be honest, have integrity, be prompt, be on time, which means be early, not just on time, but just getting out there and making a difference. So when you guys are talking about all your different employees, are you growing? Are you hiring?
Yeah, right now we're slower now, as in today, as in for about 40 days.
Yeah.
You know, in the field world, we'll be hiring plumbers and pipe fitters. We got an immense amount of work, more work this year than we did last year. And so we'll be, you know, contacting the hiring halls. But from internal perspective, we have an accounts receivable position open to help. Really, obviously, now we have all these customers, we got all these billables.
Yeah.
It's an immense amount of work managing the cash coming in and going after it because nobody wants to pay their bills anymore.
Nope.
That's another part of construction I didn't know. We all play bank for each other.
Yep.
And then we fight a lot and still like each other, which is construction's crazy like that. We're yelling at each other, and the next day you're like, all right, so how about the next job? Yeah. So we have an accounts receivable coordinator position that'll be open. We've talked about project management.
Yep.
Internally, we've promoted 3 superintendents in the last year and a half. So they're learning, and you know, the team is, you know, only Greg Batcher on our team, who's our VP of construction, has done this for more than 5 years. Nice. Everybody else has been promoted into the role. Yeah. Yep. So as we mature and we get better, I think we'll need less support, but just the amount of work we have right now is pushing us in that realm. But immediately, I'm getting hammered from Miranda that I didn't have the sort of description and the job posting out yet.
Yes.
And then also a project coordinator we've talked about that we need to get some more support staff for the PMs because
Yeah.
many of them came from the field, not very computer savvy or
Right.
have let those skills lapse.
Yeah.
And since everything runs off of Procore and email and, the world that we
Teaching
live in.
technology can be hard.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so
Yeah.
we got that. So these guys, it's quite opposite. Some of our PMs want to pick up the phone and they want to talk to you and they want to meet face to face and they want to do all that stuff, but they don't want to send an email. They don't want to write an RFI.
Right.
They don't want to do the...
I'll handwrite it with the old paper and hand you the
Right.
piece of paper and let you do the work.
And I would be remiss if I said this was like 60-year-olds. No, these are
Right.
30s and 40-year-olds
Yep.
that grew up in a computer era that just never really adapted
to it. Right.
Yeah. So we're really looking at it from the support perspective.
Yep.
And then as we grow the residential world, we're going to need more support in office management and trying to help, with all of the work that's going to be generated from multiple tickets, invoices a day,
Yeah.
Right.
multiple jobs. The cadence of residential versus commercial is
Completely different.
completely
animals.
different.
for
Yeah.
sure.
So, just as a culture, we know what we're good at.
Yep.
Davis Mechanical is not good at residential because
Right.
it is chaotic and there's so much stuff
Yep.
that we had to build these other companies so that the culture is adaptable to that.
Cohesive. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
you don't see many mechanical contractors or construction companies in general that can do both residential and
Nope.
commercial well.
Right. And
And
it's
so-
getting the processes probably set down in place in the commercial world first, so then it can be duplicated into the residential side. Tweaked a lot, obviously,
Tweaked a
because you're
lot,
hitting
yeah.
the residential homes and you're hitting the residential
Right.
commercial customers and the home shows and everything like that. But you still have to have the same processes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's for Naomi and I when we talked about this. So when we brought her on, I asked for her help and giving me ideas and let's help focus on this residential.
Yep.
And then I realized like our commercial brand needs Naomi.
Yep.
Residential isn't anything at this point,
Right.
right? So what I've loved to see is that you've adopted all of the stuff. Like she's
Yeah.
obviously met with you a number of times and
Yep.
gone through what you do and the networking groups because the world is huge. We
It
don't
is.
know where to
So
start.
huge.
No.
Yeah,
Right.
so parse it down, find out what successful people are
Yep.
doing, imitate
And then it's
that.
how do you do that into the residential world?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you have products just like we do
Right.
that are for everybody. It's
Right.
not just the
Right.
one-ups huge contractors. It's a
Mhm.
homeowner. It's
Right.
anybody and everybody that owns or has any ties to anything. So it's
Yeah.
how can
Right.
you reach
Well,
them
and
all?
Davis has really put an investment into our service industry, our service sector.
Yeah.
In the last, 6 months, we've
Mhm.
really invested a lot. And so I've even had to shift from construction. I still have my focus on construction, but
Yeah.
my hyper focus is service. So
Yeah.
making that transition as well as driving in the service, which is different from construction. So it's
Right.
just,
Mhm.
it's been a lot of learning and a lot of communications with people and relationships and just learning along the way.
And I think that's part of getting to know the person in general.
Yeah.
Because yes, you could go in there thinking, hey, we're going to talk HVAC systems, and then it's going to branch off into, oh, you own a home. You have 12 homes that you own. You're
Right.
in real estate. Like, how can this flow from one thing, from HVAC systems to service, to now
Mhm.
everything residential too, and let you know everything that we offer?
Yeah. And when you talk like HVAC and plumbing and, the service, the commercial service and in the residential, those are more saturated than you were speaking in the construction
Mhm.
sector of it. So, the relationships, it
Yeah.
just all of my position is all relationships,
Yep.
and I love it. I am a networker at heart. The moms were just talking about it at baseball last night. Someone texted me randomly at 10 p.m. last night, where can I get this type of farmyard cake for my granddaughter on
Right.
Sunday? Send her someone and she had it connected within an hour,
Yeah.
I'm a networker at heart.
Absolutely.
I love helping people. How can I help you? And that can be any gambit and I just, to keep growing that is everything to me. That's what fills my cup is relationships.
Yeah. And I think the hard thing probably for you, just like it is for me, is you start being, the more you're known, the more people are like, hey, you're the Davis girl, or hey, you're
Mhm.
you're
Yeah.
that one person, to be known as like the sun control girl, or just being out there. It's like,
Yeah.
I haven't said your name 3 times. Like, how am I going to remember this? Like, what's gonna go
know.
out there? It's probably a good thing I haven't said your name 3 times in my kids' world, but
Right.
but yeah, just knowing those people and getting those more in-depth conversations, being more personable, having that relationship, not just about work, but how are you? Like, what's
Yeah.
going on in your life? Like, how can I help? driving people want to see people being successful.
Right.
There's nothing more exciting to me than helping anybody out,
Right.
whether it's the community or just a single person, and saying, hey, you're new to the industry, you're new to something else, let's grow. Let's help you succeed.
Yeah, partner up.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I love to see with you and all of you in the business development world working together. Like I went to lunch with Jason from RTL and I just listened for a while. I'm like, this is fantastic.
Yep.
You're willing to share. You're interested in partnership. You want everybody to rise. And I see that.
Yeah, and that was a random meetup. And Jason and I have been talking too, looking at putting together quarterly just business development luncheons.
Yep.
Where we get together intentionally and just because there's networking groups for everybody but us out here. So
that's exactly right.
And so just us getting together, and I think that would be even more powerful, but more to come on that.
Well, meeting with other people that they might see it as competition, but they're not, because there's a lot of products you have that they don't have. So it's saying, okay, let's sit down and have that conversation. Let's meet with other HVAC systems. Let's meet with other people in our industry that are doing the same thing, because we can help you. You can help us. If your system goes down or you guys decide to sell out, guess what? We're still here and we're still building that network too.
That was one of my first lessons quick.
Yeah.
Was, I looked at people like they're competitors, and no, I mean, we're together in this.
Yep.
We work with a lot of what other people would think would be competitors.
Yeah.
We help each other out a lot in the industry.
Yeah, it's an eye opener when I tell people that we do work for Pioneer Power and Harris and the large sheet metal shops that even have their own piping arms.
Yeah.
Master Mechanical, for
St.
example.
Cloud Refrigeration.
SCR. Yeah, we've got great relationships in the internal mechanical space.
Yes.
You can't do everything.
No.
You need to work together.
Yep.
We'd rather, take a little bit of the scope than none at all.
Right.
And that's been, really eye-opening for me, is how much cooperation can take place. And
yes.
Right.
we are better together because we all aren't full service mechanicals. We aren't all able to do it all. And the market's too big for that too.
Right. And if there's something they ever need down the road, just like you do, if you don't have that relationship there, then they're going to go somewhere else.
Right.
They're going to say, hey, that huge contractor that I just dealt with that I couldn't service because they're too big, or they don't cover the Owatonna area, or I can't reach them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing that I learned in my past, so I'll just share this week's story. Part of what got me out of IT was there was a large contract for the city of Minneapolis, and all of their IT was managed by Unisys, hosted in Minneapolis and Philadelphia. And the relationship was like 15 plus years, and they put out an RFP for hosting and managed services. And there were 60 attendees, different companies at the first walkthrough, first bid meeting. And in the end, what I kind of discerned was like, if you put the best of breed companies together, maybe we can be better at a lower cost, more efficient, speed, whatever it is. And, long story short, we ended up putting together a consortium of Minnesota-based companies that could do the vast majority of as much as possible internally in-house with, and the data could stay here where you locally
keep it all local,
companies.
just keep it all in one too.
And the city of Minneapolis accepted our contract over Unisys, who they have this long-term contract with. So,
awesome.
I kind of look at that as like, if you are a member of your community, if you're attuned to the other people in your network. I mean, there was areas of overlap. We don't always see eye to eye, but we all got in a room, we figured it out. We put the best go-to-market strategy together. We can do that here in construction. You just need open-minded people to do it. You need, people who lead in their piece of the puzzle.
Yes.
And fully understand they can't do it all.
No.
So,
do you guys give back in the community? How can people, or do they see you out and about?
Yeah, we try to as much as possible through sports. Lots of our employees have kids in sports.
For sure.
So we sponsor teams. We try to sponsor as much of the networking event functions.
Yep.
Anything we can do. Gilda's Club for Power Design, AWC, MSA. Any of the charitable functions or arms of these, we take a strong look at. Last year, we sponsored a 15U girls hockey team in Owatonna that won state and did great and got us
Yeah.
lots of kudos.
Absolutely.
So I say we sponsor winners,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah. Right.
But it's everything from, you know, like New Prague Baseball Association.
Yep.
So for my kids, anybody that brings something to the table, we'd like to sponsor and try to get our name out there. So quite a good story is sponsored New Prague Baseball Association. And a guy came up to me at one of the practices and said, "You're Jake with Davis Mechanical?" And I said, yeah. Nice to meet you. Who are you? And he said, "I'm Brian Barlodge from B2 Builders," one of the owners of B2, Brian. And so we sat and talked business for a while, and he's like, "Who do I send my bid invites to? I got, you know, some upcoming work I'd like to get you guys involved in." And it's just like,
you never know where you're going to meet those. No, right?
Never know.
And there's another small mechanical contractor, 2P Mechanical in New Prague, that I've coached their son Tate on a number of different teams. And so I bounce ideas off of Paul and Annie. And
Absolutely.
You know, if we need some ductwork built for us for the residential model, they absolutely will.
Yeah.
And it's all that's cool stuff that comes out of this.
Yep.
Yeah. I sit on a booster club. I sit on a few of them, booster club board, and I was looking at everybody's email, and two of them are one's with Ryan Construction and one's in Highmark Construction, and Highmark's Custom Home started talking to them, and now they're sending bids over to our new residential companies.
Yeah,
you know,
you just never know where those leads are going to come from, right?
Yeah, and then for Christmas last year, we sponsored, I can't remember the name of the company or the group, but we adopted a few families, quite a few families.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
I'm honestly drawing a blank right now. It was Mike Evans' group. I think it was Adopt One.
They're foster kids.
Foster One. There you go.
Foster
One.
Okay.
So it's Foster One. Is run by Mike Evans, who owns Image Mechanical Insulation. So he's a partner of ours that we work with. But yeah, we donated like $500 or $1,000 to buy gifts for a family. Or families.
Oh,
and
for
in
sure.
the end, we find out that they supported like 1,500 families.
Wow.
Right.
Yep.
And then Mike's, you know, just been this servant leader in his past and,
you
know, extended that. And so we did that. We've done.
We did the Steele County Schools, Owatonna Schools.
Yep.
Nice.
Reached out to the social worker, and she had a few families, and she got us over the letter, and all of us ladies, as we started reading it, we just all started crying.
Yep.
But yeah, we adopted a few families within the school district out where we all live.
Yeah. I mean, we have such a diverse group of people where they live. And so, you know, we get lots of requests from the different, it seems to be sports focused, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Because I do think that sports helps build character, builds leaders and that sort of thing. But then, you know, what we don't get, which I would like to see, is drama.
Yep.
My nephew is in the plays at Lakeville
theater
South
clubs
and North
and things
theater
like
club.
that.
Oh my God, the work that they put in.
Set
the
constructions,
stress.
everything.
Oh my gosh, yeah. So I think about just in general, you know, speech, you know, any kind of anything you compete or do or build or develop, right? That's,
robotics or
any clubs that are out there. Yes.
Yeah, that's the stuff that we should all be giving back to because we're building leaders and really enabling folks who are choosing to do these things. They're not sitting at home playing Fortnite.
Nope.
They're out
you
building
could be a
stuff.
sponsor in Fortnite. You're building in Fortnite, but yes, yep. I mean, just getting out there and having those kind of back to where we were talking about services senior to sales, but just building those relationships and being seen.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I've learned recently, too, a lot of these Habitat for Humanities are partnering up with schools. Schools are bringing the trades back, which is phenomenal. And just they're looking for sponsorship. And that's something that we're going to talk about eventually. But the schools are all coming and the students are building these houses for these families.
Yep.
And it's pretty phenomenal to see.
I know there's a lot of high schools around, too, that have their own construction classes that will get out there and they'll build or help work with local builders or in the trades too, just to say, hey, you know, we'll give you a discount. Do you understand that our kids are just getting out there and trying to, you know, learn framing, learn carpentry, learn electrical, learn plumbing. Yeah. And even the little things like that make a big difference.
Huge.
Yep.
Yeah. My father-in-law was a shop teacher in Waseca for many years. And you saw the erosion of that whole small engine shop.
Yep.
You know, classes and how everything turned. And so it's good to see that it's coming back around. And,
it's phenomenal.
We need a lot more people. Like we talk about, I mean, college is for some people. I absolutely attest to that. It was great for me. I had to grow up fast.
Yep, you do. You're 18, you're out on your own. Good luck.
Right. I worked in a sheet metal shop during the summers and breaks, and I was not built for working in the sheet metal shops just because I would get bored. So I talked to the owner, and he's like, do you want to come into the showroom and start selling?
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, that would be fantastic. He was then get to understand what we do first.
Absolutely. Yep. You got to learn the back end before you can do the
Exactly.
front end. Yes.
And so I said, okay, well, I'll see you in 4 years because I got to go back to college.
Yeah. Well, even like the farming industry, you see a lot of people that grew up working on the farms, and now that's a thing of the past. You have, the milking of cows, everything like that, that's gone away. So how do you teach the hard work, the mentality, the toughness to the kids these days?
Right.
Yes, the computer world, technology is awesome for some, but you also have to know, you have to be able to work with your hands. You have to be able to understand and have those relationships with people. Because if you don't have that in the future, your work could just be done by a computer.
Right.
You don't know.
Growing up in rural Minnesota, it's a conversation we have often our friends that lived on the farms, I assume out there too. I grew up in Pipestone, Minnesota. But my friends woke up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and they had a whole list of chores. They had to milk all the cows.
Milk the cows, get out there.
Yeah, doing everything before they showered to get on the bus. And now these kids they get drove down to the bus stop straight out of bed,
You
So
can't ride your bike across the street without knowing if you're going to be safe or not. And I was riding my bike all around Austin or all around Rochester, just hitting the gas stations, doing whatever.
Yeah, and so just learning that shift, and we have to teach these things to our kids, but how?
Right.
Hard work. That's how hard work is instilled in my peers.
Yep.
And now you gotta teach them chores and.
Yeah, it's very true. What was your first job? If you don't mind me asking.
I worked at a golf course.
Yep.
Well, I started playing golf when I was really young. I started in 5th or 6th grade, so that was just always there. But I was on a golf course. I worked before school. I worked after school, during school. Was always playing golf. That was kind of my niche. But from there, I got into the newspaper industry. Started doing ad design. Did circulation sales. Went to school went on a state for business management. And kind of rolled into all of that. So you get the aspect of, hey, I have older brothers. I was out there playing baseball all the time. I was, chasing the balls. We'd play football. I was always the one they were tackling. I was always the runner. But you learn mental toughness no matter what you do, as long as you're out there doing what you do, getting out there, and you have to go.
Yeah. Right.
So going forward with Davis Mechanical and everything that you're doing, what other areas are you guys looking to get into? Anything that you can think of offhand?
Yeah, currently we do not do any sheet metal. So that's a big piece of the mechanical pie that we right now we work with, larger sheet metal shops, and that's been a good partnership. But I do feel as if at some point we're going to get constricted to having to do that piece of it as well.
Absolutely.
But right now it's been pretty good because there's a lot of bigger shops than us that just do one or the other.
Strictly that,
the wet side or air side, they call it.
Yep.
So I think we'll get pulled into ventilation, that side of it. Personally, with my background in software, I would love controls.
Yes.
I love the idea of just like the connected building and some of the things you can do. And that would pull us into electrical. And again, I just, there's so many companies that do that now and mechanical.
Yep.
That they take the whole MEP scope together.
Yep.
We're not that far off, I think we have the right culture for it. Again, I don't know if that would be internal build out or acquisition.
Yep.
But that's an interesting model for us. Concrete demo is a big piece of the puzzle for us. So we have large mechanical scopes of demolition.
Yes.
It's not something even our competitors like to do. We could do this for other mechanical shops.
Yep.
Right now, we pour all of our own concrete for pads for the equipment and do our own cutting and patching. So we could do a lot more in that realm. There's just, I think the kind of Pandora's box is open.
Right. Yes.
The problem is I say yes to everything. So it's,
sure, let's do it. Let's bring it in. We'll try it. And if it works, great. But that's part of growing. That's part of being eyes wide open is what else can we do and how can we do it? And let's go.
Yep. So we've started to do things too, just weird stuff like getting labels for identification of pipe and it's, that's a very high margin thing for a lot of distributors. And my partner, Phil, was like, I'm just going to reach out and buy a printer and we're going to start doing some of the stuff ourselves.
Labeling them ourselves.
Yeah. So we have now 3 industrial printers for labeling just to do
Nice.
our own stuff because it's just not a market that's very
Right.
saturated, you
Yep.
know, it's and they're controlled by just a few large. Obviously, they can print at the scale that we could never see, but
Right.
Yeah.
just I think the entrepreneurial spirit, everything's an option,
Yes.
and what we have to get better at though is saying no.
Mhm.
'Cause it's so easy to say yes. And
Yeah.
we'll just
Personal
put some time
boundaries.
and
Right.
effort into it, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. It
Right.
hasn't vetted itself out.
Wait,
or
we've got to do
proven.
demo now on how many buildings? Come on
Right.
now.
Well, and I think that's
Yeah.
in our personal lives as well, right?
Right.
Like just, yeah, no's a hard
It is.
personal
Yeah.
boundaries, business boundaries.
So like
It's
look
tough.
at API Group, for example, or even a smaller scale, Metcon.
Yes.
You know, they own multiple entities. They've got their hands kind of in the building sector all across the board. Obviously, API is the largest, and I don't think there's anything they don't do,
Right.
you know, at this point. But that model is well defined if you can be efficient in all of the different pieces of it.
Right.
That's the biggest problem, I think, is what we have. And so internally, again, if we can get to a kind of a holding company or equity structure where
Yes.
I can like manage the P&Ls of all these different arms
Yep.
and drive efficiencies and people working together and using our own network. I mean,
Right.
every meeting that Naomi takes, we could talk electrical.
You could talk everything,
Controls,
every part of
anything
it.
else. Yeah, right.
Yep.
It's not segmented.
No.
You're really just representing a widget, a tool, whatever the
Yeah.
thing
Like,
is.
here's
you
my
know?
elevator speech on
Naomi has-
everything that we do.
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
Naomi has a lot to learn.
Yes.
Yeah, there's just so
right.
much stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just think of it that realm. When you get really good at support and you have good infrastructure,
Yes.
you know, you can
Replicate it
refine.
into other areas. And I think that's
Yeah.
the big thing is just having those processes in place, having the system as a whole work at one complete location.
Mhm.
Then you can move it to the electrical side. You can move it everywhere else
Mhm.
because everybody knows the ins and outs already.
Right.
It's just
Yeah.
tweaking it for that sector.
Yeah. There's so many
Mhm.
sectors in the mechanical world.
And we're in an aging market. You know, construction
Mhm.
is the ownership of most of the large contractors are doing, you know, there's lineage, you know, there's changes at every turn.
Yes.
And in mechanical sector specifically, it seems like there's a new company being bought or
Right.
going out of business all the time. Lots of independent owner operator businesses in the residential world.
Yep.
You know, children aren't taking over the business. They're
No,
just,
right.
if you can make a good income, you saw your mom or dad slave away for 60 hours a week
They
and
can
missed
sit
all
on a
your
video game and
stuff
be number one and do it all
Yeah.
on their own.
So- but they gave you that lifestyle that
Yeah.
gave you the opportunity. So we see that a lot. Like just anecdotally, we talk about the Highway 60 corridor from Faribault to Mankato.
Yes.
Lost 4 or 5 different plumbing or mechanical shops
Yep.
that were just single owner operator, retired.
Hoping to give it to their kids or
One day they were
grandkids, somebody.
there.
Yep.
Yeah, one day they're there, the one day they're not. You know, it's
Right.
the business is just shut down.
Yep.
So I think again on the residential side, we have a huge opportunity to take market share pretty quick. And
Yes.
it's 100% marketing. You just have to be relevant.
Yep. You have to hit those people, whether it's
Yeah.
it's the single family, the townhomes, the condos, the
Mhm.
associations, everything like that too.
Yep.
How can people find you if they're looking to find you, whether they're a home builder or they're a contractor or what they are?
Well, you can find me on pretty much any platform. Facebook, Naomi Sano, LinkedIn, Naomi Sano. Otherwise, you can look us up on the web, Davis Mechanical Systems.
Yep. So the website for us is davismechmn.com.
Mhm.
We are going to relaunch a new website because we built it in 2018 and we're so much different than what we were then.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
pictures need to be updated. I'm 20 pounds heavier and 6 years older. Or maybe lighter. We talked about this.
Maybe.
Ballooned up a little bit in COVID and have
Yep.
come off a little bit. Coming back down to reality because we got to leave the house.
Right.
But the residential side, Next Gen Heating and Air, will go live the website here by the end of the month.
Nice.
And Hot Water Minnesota is also going to be live here at the end of the month.
Yeah,
So,
and both of those are on Facebook
yep.
Live. So,
Yep. Facebook, Instagram. As soon as the websites are completed, we're going through iterations right now. A huge deal with getting the logos done. We're very excited about.
Exciting.
Yeah.
And we can start launching. But Ryan Knish, who is the president of Hot Water Minnesota, he's a Davis employee.
Perfect.
Who's phenomenal, and he ran. Him and his dad ran Knish Plumbing and Heating, and so he's got a business background. He's got the wherewithal to do this. And we had him in the commercial space for a few years, and now he's ready to get back out. His kids are
fun.
Getting
Yep.
Doesn't have so many little babies at home.
Right.
With a father of 4.
And
firemen.
now they're bigger babies, and
Coaches,
it's all good.
yeah.
More needy.
Yeah.
And
Money flow goes up.
Yep. And Craig Helgeson will run Next Gen Heating and Air.
Nice.
Most of the market knows Craig as Davis's HVAC project manager.
Yep.
Running the refrigeration market. So Craig's going to knock that down, and we're going to back him. I'm going to try to help as much as I can just from a marketing and branding perspective.
Absolutely.
But in the end, they got to be like Google geniuses.
Yes.
You got to be relevant on Google.
Yep.
We figured that out through Home Place, the residential, or the duct and dryer and cleaning. Is that every single Google review, the phones start to ring. Like just we went from page. I'm not lying. I think it was page 20.
Yep.
If you looked up Twin Cities dryer vent cleaning, to first page because of 200 Google reviews.
Right.
200 5-star Google reviews changed the world.
Yep.
For that business.
Right.
And what we're also seeing is that there's a very small market of folks. When you get a Google review, it's like that 10-mile radius. So you need Google reviews all over the metro, right?
Yes.
So you have to be relevant everywhere you want to be.
Yep.
So yeah, as we're starting to learn how this all works, that's been huge for us as well. And
Perfect.
I never thought we'd be talking about WordPress versus Wix versus
I know,
all this
right?
other
Search engine
native Google
optimization, and
tools.
now
Yeah.
wait, what? Google Analytics.
But that's what it is.
Yeah.
How many doors you have to your building.
Right.
Right.
No, it's interesting. I mean, we talked about the Hot Water Minnesota, and I'm like, I want to be on a billboard hugging a water heater because I love hot water.
Yep.
You know,
It's got to be something catchy, fun, different. Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Something
Because people
different.
remember it. It's like, hey, your wife's hot. Okay, well, that has nothing to do with. Yeah, it's all.
Yeah, it's
turn the
because you have
thermostat
hot
down.
water or because you have a
Right.
thermostat.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. Somebody's got an ad out that says helping husbands and wives fight over the thermostat since 1967 or something, and I just laugh at that.
They're fun. They're catchy, and people remember them. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's exactly what we need to be. We need to be marketers.
Yes.
You know?
Yep.
And that's part of why when we look at commercial construction, it's really been interesting to see business development and seeing how you guys are now marketers.
Yep.
I don't believe that existed in 2018 when I started. It was very much project managers finding their own business,
Right.
getting to know a contractor.
Because they're the front end. They're also the back end. They're the one that's going to be doing the job. So they close the site. They're done with it. But then it ends there because they're on the next job site too. So yes.
Well, and busy, and
Yeah.
the follow up isn't there.
Right.
The massaging of the relationships.
Yeah,
You're
we got-
always selling no matter what you do, whether you are in an installer or you are business development, you are an owner, whatever you are. It's always promoting your book and growing.
Well, and coming from cell tower construction, I mean, our customers were Verizon, T-Mobile, USL and stuff. So we all got an opportunity to bid those projects because we are their only construction.
Right.
Us few cell tower constructions. But I recently ran into an old boss, one of my higher ups, and he's like, I see you all over LinkedIn. Is that even working for you? That doesn't even work for people.
You never know. Like
And
until you're seeing me though. So whether you love me or hate me, you're still seeing me. So it's working. Guess what?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, it is.
Yes.
It is.
Thanks for noticing.
Right.
But absolutely
Apparently.
is. Yeah. So when you and I talked the first time, I was like,
Yes.
I felt like we knew each other.
Yep.
Because
and that's
of
the point.
LinkedIn
Yeah.
connection and just the stuff like just that touch that you get, that personal touch. Like you had videos,
Yep.
you had struggles you had talked about and
Yep.
triumphs and stuff like that. It's
Yep.
like you feel like
You're a person.
you're
Yep.
part of it.
But that's part
You
of
know.
the social media world. A lot of people hide. They're just like all behind a filter and everything is all great and wonderful
Right.
and
Yeah.
having this wonderful life, but
Mm-hmm.
you're not hiding, you're hiding the real stuff. And that's
Right.
where the connections start. Like I could share a story with you and you could connect with me or someone listening could. You just don't know who or what you're going to share.
And they say people relate to a struggle before they do your success, right?
Yep.
We all can remember our struggles a lot more vividly usually than our small successes.
Right.
And you never know who has those struggles, whether it's being a single mom or being, having just the ups and downs of business and something not working out.
Yeah.
somebody else could be going through that same thing and think they're the only person out there dealing with it. So,
Yeah. And they don't know how. They might ask, you might have a little bit of a lead for them or a little bit of a breakthrough for them. And it's important.
And every failure isn't a failure. It's just an obstacle onto the next and to help you grow. So
here we are.
Yes. Yep.
Here we are.
One of the things that came out of when I left IT sales was one of the posts I made was like, I've always been challenged with mental health struggles, right? Just in general. Like I put too much onus on myself. I'm one of those anxious people that in sales, it was always hero to zero to hero to zero. And it was never enough. It's the consumption mentality, right? You're always trying to outdo and, you just
you go
a mouse on a wheel, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I posted about that on LinkedIn and said, I'm not off the wheel, but I'm more in control. It's my priorities. I have the ability to say, I'm not going to do this today.
Right.
And in the end, I started getting feedback and he reached out to by former peers and people saying, oh, we have the same thing.
I needed that. Like,
and we never
my gosh.
talked about it.
Yeah.
And there's a guy, Jeff, that was just this, big guy, strong, powerful leader, engineering background, very type A.
Yep.
He reached out to me and said, I hate this job, and I like real estate. I like other stuff, but I can't get off the wheel because I've kind of put myself in it, right?
Yep.
You get into a little bit of a debt
You get through the grind and you just go.
Yeah. And you'd rather deal with the devil, than the one you don't.
Yep.
Right.
So I get a lot of, how did you do this? Like what was what was the motivation? What was the scariest thing you dealt with? And and in the end, my feedback to everybody is if you don't take a chance,
you have to.
You never will.
Right.
You'll never know.
No, believe in yourself. Because you can always go back. I could easily go work at Dell or HP and sell stuff.
Yep.
It's not that big a deal, to be part of that world again. But I would never want to go back and have to be told your priorities and, to have to sit through reviews and
restricted on growth, right?
Right. We're free thinkers.
Yeah.
What do you want to do today?
Right.
Let's go.
Right.
I don't know if I'm going to be out flying. I don't know if I'm going to be sitting behind the desk. I don't know if I'm going to be at your house or at your business.
And
but
I might
let's
be
go.
doing all
let's
of
do
it
all.
in one day. It's
You
fine.
bet.
Everything's fine.
Right.
What time was the game though?
We're there. We're online. No. I think what people don't see as entrepreneurs as well is looking outside the box, but not being afraid to take that next step. It's like, yes, you get in the grind of doing what you do every single day and it gets monotonous, but how can we reach more people? How can we get out there and see more people? So as a person, it's not just the podcast and it's everywhere you go. Just being there and being present, putting that phone down sometimes and sharing about you.
Right.
Yeah. This has been fantastic.
Yes.
It's like a relief.
I know. It feels kind of good. I'm like, Jake, you've been sitting with me for like an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Hour and a half.
Well, we appreciate having you guys on. It's been fun. It's not as scary as a lot of people think. And it's just letting people know about who you are, where you came from, your trials, your triumphs, everything like that. But to let you know that you are people behind the business as well.
Yeah. I appreciate it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. If anybody has any questions, again, like we reach out on LinkedIn.
Yep.
Email.
What's
emails.
The website again?
davismcmn.com.
Yep.
And so you can get right on there and my contact information's on the website. But I'd love to hear from people who are interested in business, entrepreneurial journeys. Just let's bounce ideas off each other. I mean, I get a lot of questions from people that are in different networks like financial advisors typically trying to sell me stuff. But
but
they're
still growing and they're still trying to reach more people.
But
so
I absolutely help with those. I've got a lot of people that are now, it seems like in early 40s to mid 40s, people they're buying businesses. They're moving into, they might have bought in at the company that they're working at, or they've got ambitions to, and they don't know how to broach the subject.
Right.
A good friend of mine bought in at a multifamily construction company he's been working at for 15 years. And called me just to talk about how did it work with valuation? What did you see? What's the legal process? Another friend of mine's buying automotive care.
Right.
Those are the kind of things I love to see.
Absolutely. People being successful and growing, but also the younger generation in the trades or that are just starting out. How do they get established? Like, how can we help you grow? Let's do this. Let's have that conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's people think of buying a business as this Super Bowl life-changing event and it's too much and they get, analysis paralysis. It's really not that big a deal.
No.
Well,
It doesn't take as much money as you
Right.
think.
Yeah.
You know, there's
But it
lots
gets
of people who
addictive
help.
too.
Yeah,
And it's like,
so
let's go bigger and better. How can we
Right.
do this on a wider, larger
Right.
scale?
there's so many ways. If you're working at a company and you really enjoy it and the owner is going to retire, there's ways to do that. If you want
Absolutely.
to get out of the industry and do something else, if you got your eyes on something, so many programs
Try
out
it.
there.
Do it.
Yeah. So we can help. Obviously, it's just doing.
Getting there and doing it,
Yep.
taking that
Yeah,
step.
just feel free to reach out. I mean, Jake and I would love to sit down and
Absolutely.
just discuss life and
Yep.
opportunities, and I mean, just navigate the world.
Yeah.
Yep. I live by the motto: drink beer with everybody. So
Yeah. Well, you've got
anybody
your
and
dunk in
everybody.
there. I've got my bubbler. We're good. Close
Right?
enough for today.
Again, like I said, there's no bad meetings. So there's absolutely no bad meetings.
No, right. Because you
No.
never know anybody's story and you never know where they're at in their
Mhm.
journey and what or where they'll be next.
Yeah, I
Yep.
mean, you might inspire,
Yep.
you know.
And always be successful. Keep
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect. Well, we appreciate having you guys out. And if you want to get a hold of them, please reach out. Let's hear what you guys think of the podcast, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Thank you.